Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a sweet little girl who was loved by everyone who knew her. She was especially loved by her old grandma. As a special gift, Grandma made for the little girl a beautiful red velvet cape with a hood trimmed in woven gold thread. The child was so happy with her cape that she would never wear anything else. Soon people began to call her Red Riding Hood. One day, Red Riding Hood's mother called her to the kitchen and said,
"My dear, your grandma is not feeling very well today. Please take her this basket of cakes and apple cider. It will cheer her spirits and chase away her sickness. And remember, don't speak to any strangers on the path through the forest, and go straight to Grandma's. Don't stop to play or pick wildflowers." "Yes, Mama." "Here's your cape." "Thank you, Mama. I'll be home soon. Goodbye."
Red Riding Hood skipped happily out the door and soon was on the path to her grandma's house. It was a beautiful day, and she hummed a little as she walked along.
La, 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 la. Oh, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and the woods smell so fresh. I wish I could just pick a few of those wildflowers growing just over there. Grandma would love them so.
Well, why don't you then, Miss Red?
Oh, my! You scared me. I didn't see you there.
Yes, well, most people don't see me until it's too late. Until I've scared them.
Well, who are you?
Red Riding Hood had forgotten her mother's warning about speaking to strangers. This was such a strange-looking, hairy creature, she was just curious to know about him.
I'm Master of the Woods, my dear.
Well, what makes you that?
Well, it seems wolves have a certain power over other creatures, people, other animals, just sort of a great personality, I guess.
You're a wolf.
Oh, yes, but don't believe all the silly things they say about me. I'm as gentle as a lamb. Just love to sit and smell the flowers and read poetry. Gentle things, really. So, Red Riding Hood, where are you going today?
You know my name?
Oh, of course, you're loved and known by all. Why wouldn't I know your name?
Well, it's just that I've never met you.
Oh, and what a shame. I'm sure we would have been great friends. So where exactly are you going, dear?
To my grandma's. She's not feeling very well, so I have a basket of treats to cheer her up.
Oh, how nice. But then you are so very nice, aren't you? Where does she live? Far from here?
Well, not really. About 5 minutes, I guess. Her house is the one under the 3 big oak trees near a hedge of nut trees.
Oh, yes, of course. That place.
The wolf had already decided the little girl looked delicious. But he thought he might just hurry along to Grandma's and have her as supper, and when Red Riding Hood got there, have her for dessert. For his plan to work, he had to get to Grandma's house before Red Riding Hood.
Those flowers are so lovely. Why don't you pick some for your poor, sick granny?
Well, my mother told me not to stop to play or pick flowers. She told me not to talk to strangers, too.
Oh, but you talked to a stranger and nothing bad happened. So surely it won't hurt to pick a few flowers for dear granny.
Gee, I would love to pick just a few.
Well, go right ahead then. I won't keep you any longer. Bye-bye.
The wolf was off like a flash.
The girl should have listened to her mother. Never talk to strangers, especially wolves. Well, off to Grandma's house I go.
Soon the wolf was at Grandma's house. He called to her and said he was Red Riding Hood and had come to bring her a basket of goodies. A weak little voice told him to come in, and so he did. The wolf sprang into the room and jumped on the bed of the poor old woman and swallowed her down in one bite. The wolf found one of Grandma's nightgowns and put it on. He hopped into her bed and waited for Red Riding Hood to come. Now, Red Riding Hood had only meant to pick a few flowers, but every time she picked one, she saw a more beautiful one just a little further away. Soon, she had an armload of flowers and had been picking them for almost an hour.
Oh, my goodness, I'm very late. I must get to my grandma's right away.
She ran off down the path as fast as she could run. Soon, she was at her grandma's door.
Grandma, it's Red Riding Hood. May I come in?
Oh, yes, my dear. Please come in.
I'm sorry I didn't get here sooner, but I stopped to talk to a stranger, and I also picked you some flowers, see?
Oh, they're lovely, dear. Put them over there. Come here close to me. I want to see your pretty face nice and close.
Red Riding Hood laid her flowers down and came over to her grandma's bed.
Here's a basket of cakes and apple cider for you, Grandma.
Oh, how nice. Put them over there and come closer to me.
Grandma, what big ears you have.
Oh, yes. All the better to hear you with, my dear.
And what big eyes you have.
Yes. All the better to see you, my darling little girl.
What big arms and hands you have!
Oh, dear, yes, yes. All the better to catch and hold you with, my dear.
Red Riding Hood started to feel a little bit scared. Something was very odd about her grandma. She backed away from the bed a few steps.
Sweetheart, why do you back away from your loving granny?
You have such great big teeth, Grandma!
All the better to eat you with, my dear.
The wolf jumped from the bed, and before Red Riding Hood could move an inch, he had swallowed her down in one bite, just like her grandma.
Oh, my. Such tiring work eating people. I need a little rest after all this exercise. I'll just take a quick nap.
It was almost sunset. Out on the path, a hunter was beginning his trip home. He saw Grandma's house and decided to stop in to see her. He heard very loud snoring. He thought this was very strange. The little old lady who lived here would not snore so loudly. He cracked the door open and peered inside. It was too dark in the room for him to see Grandma in her bed. He stepped inside the room and walked toward the bed. The wolf had removed the hot nightgown and lay upon the bed, belly up, in a deep sleep. The hunter quickly grabbed his knife and cut the wolf's stomach open. First the hunter saw a red cape, and then out popped Red Riding Hood. Next he saw a white nightgown, and out popped poor old Grandma.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hunter. It was so awful in there. It was dark and smelly. Yuck!
The hunter ran outside and gathered many heavy stones. While the wolf still lay sleeping, the hunter stuffed his belly with all the stones and sewed him up. The wolf awoke.
What's this? I just ate Grandma and Red Riding Hood. How can they be out there staring at me? Oh, and the hunter?
The wolf tried to spring from the bed and gobble up the three, but try as he would, he was just too heavy to do anything but crawl from the bed and out the door. From that time on, the wolf could no longer move fast enough to eat anything but grass and snails.
Snails.
And the forest was safe for little girls and grandmas.